Danny Chi with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's incoming cabinet met for the first time Thursday morning, introducing 16 members. They're promising to bring positive change for the nation's economy and social welfare. Tiffany Wong has more.
Taiwan has renovated its cabinet. Premier Zhou Rongcai introduced 16 new members who will lead major government agencies in charge of economic development, health, and social welfare policies. They're here to bring fresh leadership to the team after major setbacks over the past year, like a series of failed recall votes and several devastating storms. Premier Zhou Rongcai will continue to lead the cabinet and said he was both excited and nervous to move forward with the new group.
我会要求未来所有的内阁团队要加速行动，积极认识，要有感施政，而且要我本身做起。我们用同样的标准来回应给国人在这段时间对整个执政团队所有的指教，所有强烈的要求，我们都必须一一面对。
President Lai Ching-te worked closely with the first cabinet, and he says he is hopeful that the new one will be able to focus on serving the people.
那我们希望整个内阁重新调整之后，能够以4个优先来作为目标。第一个就是经济发展优先，第二个是民生优先，第3个是青年优先，第4个是弱势优先。然后也祝福整个内阁未来能够各项施政 都能够接近民意的要求，更符合社会的期待。
There are some familiar faces among the newcomers. Gong Min-shin, who will be taking over the Economy Ministry, is a seasoned cabinet member who currently serves as its Secretary General. He was also previously head of the National Development Council.
中小微企业跟传产是台湾产业发展的根，经济部永远跟这些产业站在一起啊。 那我们事实上，我们共同经历了过去这个美中贸易战的1.0，还有 COVID-19 的挑战，我们都度过了。我相信这一次我们跟中小微企业还有传统产业一定也可以度过挑战。
Other new cabinet officials hope to bring knowledge from their fields of expertise in science and technology or even sports to the government. Like Li Yang, two-time Olympic gold medalist in men's doubles badminton, who will be the very first to head the new sports ministry, and the youngest minister in Taiwan's history at age 30. But there are doubts about whether these changes will be enough to advance the ruling party's policies and appease the opposition.
The chances of the new cabinet are going to be able to work well with the opposition already do not look good. For one thing, it's a fairly minor change. And second of all, both the KMT and TPP have come out attacking the changes. The KMT specifically called the choices disappointing, and they said that the Lai administration has not self-reflected on the recall losses.
Moving forward, all eyes will be on the new cabinet to bridge Taiwan's growing political divides and see if they can last the next few years. Luffy Li, Joseph Wu, and Tiffany Wong in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Recent reports say that Taiwan and the U.S. plan to strengthen cooperation in drone manufacturing and innovation. Both sides say their goal is to create a China-free supply chain. Alan Liu has more.
Taiwan is strengthening its strong cooperation with the U.S. Washington has reportedly invited Taiwan's Aerospace Industrial Development Corporation to lead a national team of drone firms to set up factories in the U.S., aimed at building a China-free supply chain. A lawmaker says the initiative would boost Taiwan's security and its economy.
透过美国的通路进入全球的市场，它是一个经济产业的新通路。那另外在安全上，不管是平时或战时，它提供了台湾可以自己生产、自给自足的战备纵深。
That's not the only big news for Taiwan's strong ambitions. The Financial Times reports that Washington plans to send a representative to Taiwan this year to speed up cooperation on drones and tap into Taiwan's tech sector. The Defense Ministry says Taiwan and the U.S. have long maintained close military cooperation, but declined to comment on specific cases. The developments have some hoping Taiwan's defense industry can go global and even become the country's next signature industry.
我们一直说台积电可能是护国神山，那我们能不能去打造另外一个新的产业，在前进这一个国际？我觉得这个对我们台湾整体的安全来看，除了半导体之外，未来我们能不能去利用军工走向世界，会是接下来蛮重要的一环。
This and other cooperation on drones have received growing fanfare from the U.S. side. Earlier this year, the director of the American Institute in Taiwan, the de facto U.S. embassy, called the countries a perfect match when it comes to drone tech. More recently, the AIT has stressed publicly that it's actively engaging with Taiwan's ruling and main opposition parties on the defense budget. With reports now emerging that Taiwan plans to send a national drone team to the U.S., these unmanned vehicles look set to become a key pillar of U.S.-Taiwan defense industry cooperation. Ethan Pan and Ellen Liu for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan prosecutors have indicted 3 people for stealing TSMC trade secrets. The defendants are accused of conspiring to steal information about the company's advanced 2-nanometer process and using it to help Japan's Tokyo Electron compete for TSMC supplier deals. A former TSMC employee, now at Tokyo Electron, faces 14 years in prison, while 2 ex-engineers face 9 and 7 years. This is the first case under the amended National Security Act, which covers state-level economic espionage. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the Pentagon will be auditing its digital systems to weed out any potential Chinese influence.
All Department of Defense software vendors will identify and terminate any Chinese involvement in DoD systems. It blows my mind that I'm even saying these things. It's such common sense.
The sweeping move comes after an investigation revealed that Microsoft had employed Chinese engineers to service Pentagon cloud systems. Hegseth called Microsoft's actions a breach of trust. Microsoft said in July that it ended its use of China-based technical support for the U.S. military after investigative media outlet ProPublica reported on the practice. Taiwan-Philippine ties are coming under scrutiny as the Philippine Senate examines a visit by a Taiwanese delegation to Manila. The group of Taiwanese officials and business leaders is in the Philippines to promote trade and investment, but the trip has sparked controversy. Taiwan's United Daily News reported that Foreign Minister Ling Jialong is part of the delegation, citing a Facebook post that has since been deleted. Some Philippine senators warned the visit could provoke China, but the Philippine Foreign Minister says the country's engagement with Taiwan has nothing to do with Taipei's ties with Beijing.
Successive administrations have reinforced the One China policy through separate but related issuances, and that the Filipino people have long-standing relations with the Taiwanese people and we therefore benefit from continued engagement with them.
Taiwan's foreign ministry confirmed the delegation, but would not comment on whether the foreign minister joined. To find out what this means for Taiwan-Philippines relations, our reporter Ellen Liu spoke with Renato Cruz de Castro, a distinguished professor at De La Salle University.
Taiwan's Foreign Minister Ling Jialong's reported visit to the Philippines will be the highest-level trip since Manila eased its restriction on engagement with Taiwan in April. How would you view this development?
First, we have to ask the question, did that eventually happen? So just in case, of course, it really did happen, I think this is really more as a result of the move of the Philippine government to amend its 1987 executive order regarding a very strict One China policy. So, of course, you have Memorandum 82 that came out just April, which actually encourages exchanges when it comes to trade, economic, and cultural activities.
What impact could Taiwan's delegation to the Philippines have on Taiwan-Philippines trade and economic relations?
They're part of the U.S.-Taiwan Economic Council. So again, this is not simply Taiwan, it is Taiwanese and American businessmen who have, of course, interest in investing in the Luzon corridor. So this is a goal of the Philippines, Japan, and the United States to develop what they call the Luzon corridor. So, just in case you have, of course, the U.S.-Taiwan Economic Council interested in this corridor, that's good for the Philippines. That's good for business. It's not a violation of One China policy, primarily because it has something to do with trade and investment issues.
Some Philippine senators have warned that this trip could provoke China. Do you think it will?
Definitely, China would react, despite the fact that his presence here was, of course, just in case it's true, was primarily an economic. He's there not to represent Taiwan as a diplomat, but as part of a trade delegation, which is actually allowed by Memorandum 1882. As long as the relationship is economic, cultural trade, it is not a violation of the One China policy.
There is Renato Cruz de Castro from De La Salle University. Taiwan's homegrown comic scene is stepping into the global spotlight with a new exhibition in Tokyo. As Tengye reports, the art form not only entertains, it also tells the story of Taiwan's long search for identity.
Comics. Not only entertainment, but a way for people to reflect on society through time. Illustrated prints have been around in Taiwan from as early as the 19th century. But it wasn't until Japanese colonial rule that comics began to take shape, spreading through magazines and newspapers. Until 1949, when the Chinese Nationalist Party, or KMT, fled to Taiwan, and under martial law worked to remove all Japanese influence. Strict censorship required every strip to undergo review, and the industry nearly died.
那在那么严格的或者是自由新政的审查制度之下，能够进来并且很方便的能够快速流通的，其实就是盗版漫画。那其实这一代的人大部分都是看日本盗版漫画成长的，所以他们的漫画语言里面其实也有很重的日本漫画的成分。
But the KMT also used comics for anti-communist propaganda, sparking a wave of publications across the island. And the new generation of comic artists try to differentiate themselves from the Japanese style, some by blending traditional Chinese elements into original comics.
他们还有非常重的那一种，我们是中华文化儿女，我们复兴中华文化或者是传承历史文化的责任是在我们身上。那所以以中国历史或者是中华式的中华风，我们现在叫中华风的这种东西。来标榜所谓的台湾漫画，其实对当时的创作者或读者来说是非常理所当然的事情。
After martial law ended, Taiwanese comics regained their freedom. Stories are now rooted in Taiwan, and the launch of the Creative Comic Collection, or CCC, gave the movement new momentum.
原本它的目的可能是为了要把台湾的文史，然后这些典藏品，然后用一个什么样子故事行销的方式来推广出去，这样子。那这跟当时的台湾的文史本土的研究开始变多有很大的关系。
The collection pairs vibrant comics with newly digitalized historical archives, using Taiwan's past to tell stories about its culture and identity. The mix of creative freedom and accessible resources has fueled a new wave of Taiwanese comics, many exploring local themes and diverse social issues.
台湾的漫画作品来讲的话，我觉得他们优势当然是一个是在它的一个多元性。我们在性别议题，然后在这种性别平权相关的这种题目的创作非常非常的多，然后也突破性很大。这个跟日韩、中国等等，他们都可能会有一些各自的包袱来讲的话，我觉得是一个蛮突出的地方。
Many Taiwanese comics have now been translated into multiple languages, and they are being welcomed abroad. And just like Taiwan's journey, the industry is turning challenges into stories, and stories into identity. Andy Xue, Alec McDonald, and Ting Ye for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, as the Venice Film Festival opens, stars dazzle on the red carpet. I'm Sani Chi, take care and see you next time. For more stories from Taiwan and Expo 2025, download the TaiwanPlus app.